So, you've got the iNaturalist mobile app. It's time to put it to use. Let's go out right now. Let's go find something that's crawling or blooming or flying. This video, I'll show you what to do. It'll take maybe about 2 minutes time. You can get some sort of educated guess about what creature you're looking at or what plant you're looking at. And so the idea there being that you can get a record for yourself, and you'll also be leaving a record for science as well. So for your sake, that's you, the new casual observer, we're gonna get right into it. Otherwise, if you're more interested in my ramblings or kind of where the channel's going, stay put. The second half of the video, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so are you ready? Let's get in the field. Okay, so just real briefly, I want to show you how you might take an approach at a plant that you see on a walk in the park, just looking at the iNaturalist app on the phone. And so I'll screencast what I do on the phone, but I want to demonstrate quickly what I think a good set of pictures might look like. And then of course with the phone, you'll see how to upload it on iNaturalist pretty much instantly, as long as you have cell signal or Wi-Fi. I'm looking at this Engelmann daisy here, and I know it's an Engelmann daisy, but it's not necessary that you know this ahead of time. Remember, part of what iNaturalist can do is use this robot to tell you, at least to its best guess, what it suggests the species is going to be. And so I want to make sure with my phone I'm getting at least an overall view of the plant. Right, and so coming from a little bit further angle here, you'll see this on the screencast. So there's a picture there. I'll hit next. And it's going to take me to a page where I'm about to set up with my observation, but I want to add other pictures. So I'm going to hit a plus sign. That's at the top left of the screen. Come in a little bit closer. All right, and so these daisies are going to have, like lots of plants in Central Texas this time of year, are going to have these yellow blooms. I want to get a good look at those. So I'm going to get in close, tap the screen to focus on it, take another picture. Hit next again. This is the sort of tedious part that I don't necessarily like about the app. Okay, and then I'm going to add another picture. Now I want to make sure that I get these leaves, because the leaves are going to be relatively distinct for an Engelmann daisy. And so now I picture just focused on the leaves. Hitting next. So I have a group of 3 pictures that are going to go together. It's geotagged because I'm on my phone and I've set it up with the location services. And so now it knows where I am. It's open geoprivacy because I'm out in public. And it's asking me what I saw. And so you'll see on the screen, it's going to make these suggestions. It's pretty sure that it's subfamily Asteroideae. Those are just the asters. That's all the daisies. But I know a little bit better that's an Engelmann daisy. And I can see on here that it's visually similar. That's the first specific suggestion that's been seen nearby. So I'm going to make that my selection and hit share. And of course it takes time for other people to come along and either confirm or refute what you've said, but your observation's on pretty instantly. That is a benefit, right? Otherwise on the computer I'm about 3 days behind right now. But hopefully this video is good for those of you who are going to be sort of lower volume, less intense, maybe not obsessive users of iNaturalist. Certainly there's space and there's value for the casual observer. Both, I think, for you, and again, this is a citizen science project. These observations will be useful to scientists as well who happen to go back and pull your data as part of a big data set. And so, please, if you're curious enough to take the picture, go ahead and add it to iNaturalist, learn a little bit more about what you're seeing, and let's all mutually get some value out of it. If you're interested in doing a bit more, maybe more, especially with using the power of the iNaturalist website, I'm a strong advocate for that. Venture back into the other videos in this playlist, or stand by, because we'll kind of turn up the crazy again in future videos, go a bit more in depth and use the more powerful tools, but hopefully having this this tool in your hand in the field will prove useful to you. And if you do stick around, expect to see this video again, probably a remastered version of it, mixed in, batched together with some other techniques in the field for getting observations. So I'm thinking we've got how you would use the phone directly, but then also I'll talk a little bit about how to maybe get better pictures or get pictures at all with a camera. That can be a point and shoot or a DSLR like what I use, using trail cameras. There are different techniques that you can use. So maybe you're aware, maybe not, that I started this channel really as a motivator to practice my video editing. And so I used DaVinci Resolve for this particular video to help me get sort of a picture-in-picture effect. And so I'm seeing a lot more that I can do with that, and probably you did too if you have any familiarity with video editing. And so certainly the remastered version of this that'll get grouped together with others would hopefully have some better color balances and audio, maybe not a baby grunting in the foreground of the video. Hit next again. Having some other video editing tools will be useful for me, I think, to kind of realize some other visions that I have, both for iNaturalist videos and certainly broader than that. Remember, Philomath means I love learning, and that's a really wide-ranging sort of thing. And so hopefully we'll have some ability to use that in an educational sense. Certainly I'll use it also for my own amusement. And so in that aspect, it'll probably be kind of polarizing. You might love or hate it, but you know, it'll certainly be something to keep me interested and hopefully keep bringing you some useful information, useful perspective. And so the City Nature Challenge was last weekend. That's going to kind of be a part of what the next big video is, centered around, again, here on the porch, a little bit more active approach to getting observations. Still fairly easy, right? Bringing the observations to you, but using some more tools, using a black light, using a sheet, and actively, in a sense, going around trying to get every different observation that I can off the porch. And so it's meant to be a lot more intensive. You'll see a lot more observations than what you did on the previous video, just seeing what would happen to come up over a course of a few weeks, sitting out on the porch. In one night, right, we'll be able to beat that number. So I hope you'll join me for that. In the meantime, I encourage you to use the mobile app if you haven't already. Otherwise, go back and follow these tutorials for getting whole big batches of observations onto iNaturalist on the computer. If you're on the iNaturalist website anyway, use the Explore tab and try to figure out what your next hike's going to be, right? You can do a little bit of recon and see what other folks have seen in your neighborhood, in your nearby parks, or dream big. You can look at observations from the other side of the world if you want to, and just kind of do some digital ecotourism. And otherwise, you can also use those temporal filters and see kind of what might be coming your way. So look in your area, but date it back 10 months, 11 months, and see maybe later this season what you can expect. Right? Just take some opportunity to be curious, to get excited about being outside and connecting with nature and learning a little bit more about particular species that are in your kind of broader habitat, your novel ecosystem. All right, enjoy. I'll see you next time.